I swear, every time I go to record, Hubs or the boys, which are my dogs, are showing up. I don't know why, but this is what happens every time. Hey, so I have decided I was going to share a little bit about how I cleared up my acne, adult acne. So I started having issues when I was in my mid to late 30s. And I've touched on this slightly in one of my other videos dealing with veterans, women veterans, and the services the VA provides. And let me tell you, having adult acne was painful. I mean, it was I know as being a teenager and having acne, a lot of people are like, it's to be expected, right? Because you're growing, your hormones are out of control. But as an adult, no one told me about that. No one told me about that. So of course, I ended up doing a ton of research. And when I say a ton, I mean I did a lot of research. I went and I looked things up and I learned that my acne was due to hormone imbalance. And so it was all along the sides of my face. And I will insert pictures. And when I learned that, I immediately went into I have to fix this mode. So I tried herbs, all the oils, anything you could think of. I tried it because I wanted to try the most natural way possible, and it didn't work. I could not rebalance my hormones on my own. So I ended up going to my primary physician, and she ended up setting up a consultation with the dermatologist. Now, I go to the VA Medical Center for all of my healthcare needs, and that's ultimately where I ended up going. And she reassured me, like, we'll figure this out. So I scheduled the appointment with the dermatologist, had some labs drawn. Let me tell you, having your labs drawn, I know I say this and I've said this in my other videos, but having lab work is important for something like this. You need to have your iron checked. You need to have all your hormone levels checked. Progesterone, okay, I'll have it written there. Estrogen, testosterone, all of it, have it drawn out, because it's going to play such a key role in discovering what's not right and what is. And you can work with your dermatologist and your primary in figuring it out. So I went to visit my dermatologist, and she immediately was like, it's okay. This is normal. A lot of people don't tell you this is normal. So I went ahead, and I was scared. I was scared shitless, okay? Because, like I said, no one told me. So she looked over the lab work and was like, okay, your iron, all these things were checking out, but she was like, because it's on your jawline, she was like, yes, your hormones are off kilter. So we have to do something. So the first thing she had recommended was a topical, which is a retinol, and it was Tretinoin. Okay, I'm gonna butcher the name of that, but I'll put the name there. And I was to use that gradually with time. So I went ahead and I started to use it in smaller dosages until I was comfortable. But my skin, it is extremely sensitive, but for whatever reason, it was so resilient when it came to that. And I mean, my mind was blown, because I already had prepared for it, because the dermatologist told me certain things were going to happen. So for instance, I was going to experience a lot of dryness in my skin, and it would get worse before it got better, but to be patient and be consistent. And so that's what I did. And in the meantime, I also started to use other items. And as I was purchasing things, I was actually contacting her, my dermatologist, and asking her if she recommended them. So I started to use a gel, and so a thicker moisturizer as I was using the cream, because you're going to purge. So when you use it, I know for me, at first it was like, okay, why the hell am I using this? It's just making everything worse. But ultimately, it got so much better. But I had to be patient, and I was consistent. Like, I did not miss a night, and I still don't miss a night. I still don't miss a night when it comes to my medication or that topical cream. The other thing she also prescribed was an oral medication that I needed to take. So I'm taking this medication, I'm taking this, popping this pill, I'm putting on this cream, and I started gradually noticing a difference, but I was skeptical, let me tell you. So skeptical, to the point where I said, you know what, I'm going to go back to being natural. I'm not going to take it anymore, because I am very fearful of taking anything. I mean, even Advil, ibuprofen. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So I ended up stopping, and this was like a year out, okay? Boo. My skin was atrocious. It went back to the same standard it was, and that was after stopping for a year. I stopped for a year, and it was so bad I was afraid to even leave the house. That's how bad my skin looked. So I, of course, built up the courage to go back and talk to my dermatologist again, and she did not judge me. She didn't say anything regarding, this mini experiment that I had taken, or a hiatus that I decided to do with my skin. Instead, she just basically went ahead and was like, okay, we'll just pick up where we left off. And I had to start again. But at least this time, I was even more mindful and more aware of what needed to happen. And let me say also, in addition to all this, you have to use a moisturizer. You have to use a moisturizer. And you have to also use sunscreen. I am such an advocate for sunscreen, especially with that topical cream, because let me tell you, you don't want your skin, the pigmentation, to be all distorted from being in the sun without sunscreen when you're using something of that level. Now, I know you're supposed to only use it at night, and I do that. I only use it at night, but there are some retinols that you can buy that you can also use during the day. So keep that in mind when you're using these retinols. Make sure you're putting on that sunscreen and continuously doing so throughout the day. So outside of that, I didn't really have to do much of anything else. I already was eating healthy. I was already working out. I always work out. And I was doing all the things, all the right things. It just so happened that, my hormones just did not agree with me. So that's how I went from having extreme acne to hormonal acne to where I am now. And as you can see, I know. Sister look good. I'm just saying. And I have to thank my dermatologist for that, because if it were not for her and her kindness regarding, even when I hopped off for a minute, like, I'm grown. I don't need you to tell me what to do with my skin. She still was like, come on, boo. It's okay. We all have to learn. So here we are. I'm still on it, and it's actually been a couple years now, and my skin, there's no words in the difference. You'll see the images. The next video I will touch on Botox, because yes, after talking with my dermatologist, I did end up just biting a bullet and getting Botox, but you'll have to stay tuned for that one, because I will be doing a video. And when you see those before and after pics, boo, let me tell you, seriously, it is a major difference. It is a major difference. So, thanks for stopping by, and until then, also take what you need, leave what you don't, okay? I'm just gonna put this right here. I'm just gonna put this right here. You decide. You decide what you're gonna do.